Hello everyone, today's video is going to be a quick speed paint of my recent illustration of Doom Slayer from Doom Dark Ages. Now, I wanted to do this piece for a little while since I've seen the trailers, but I haven't had time. And then all this year I've been getting people who've seen my old Doom Slayer piece, which I'll show here, and wanting me to make a Doom Dark Ages piece just to see my updated. And with the amount of work that I've done to improve my skills, I was willing to see how I can do it. So with that, obviously I started with the thumbnails. Now I wanted to do something a little bit more in depth with the thumbnails, trying to follow some of the Riot, League of Legends artists where they do sketch thumbnails and then do fully realized value thumbnails. So I was trying to picture that and how I would do that and try to add that into my process of being an illustrator and visual development artist. So I started out with that, got all those quick and easy, trying not to be super nitpicky about any of the line work or any of the sketches that would be in the thumbnail, and focusing more on the values and how I saw everything looking. And this actually helped speed up my process, in all honesty, when it came to the final sketch to line art. Because after getting all these done, I realized where everything needed to be, how everything needed to work out, and what the designs needed to look like in order to move things forward faster. And that's kind of the cool thing about this, and learning how to do that real quick with this situation of testing out and trying to do another fan art of a very heavily armored, rip and tear demon hunter. And I am super proud of this piece, actually, especially when you guys see towards the end of the final product. But with this, once we get done with the sketching and how it seemed to move very fast compared to other aspects of other illustrations, and I think that is because of the thumbnail realization, and I'm going to promote thumbnails as much as I possibly can because that's going to help you out. Once I got into all that and started getting into the line art so that I could prep for the colors and make sure everything is nice and smooth, or as smooth as I could get it with the line arts, it was going to be time to work on the silhouette and work on the base colors. And with this line art, I try to make it so that specific areas with the Clip Studio Paint functions were completely boxed in, and others not so much, because I wanted them to have kind of a rustic, used, damaged vibe to it. And that's kind of why you may see some of the armor pieces not fully lined up, because I wanted the paintbrushes that I use for my coloring and filling in process to actually bubble out from that and move things forward. And that's kind of a cool aspect of using a vector layer for line art in Clip Studio Paint can help you out, and moving that type of process forward is really beneficial in my process. And with this next thing, I think the hardest part of this is trying to keep the shield in perspective with all the different knobs and doodads. So that was probably the hardest part of this piece. Most of the rest of it was definitely moving things forward. I did want to keep the cape, the shield, the cowl, loincloth thing, as well as anything else that was new for Dark Ages, but I also want to bring back the Crucible from Doom Eternal. I, again, haven't played Doom Dark Ages yet because it's been a busy year, but I think it's been really fun to see. So I don't know if the Crucible is going to be in Doom the Dark Ages, but it is definitely a fun thing to add with this piece because it just matches the vibe for what the newer outfit is like. The Crucible was such an integral part for Doom Eternal that I think it probably isn't in Doom Dark Ages. You guys can tell me later, but I haven't had the chance to get or play Doom Dark Ages yet, and that's kind of unfortunate for me because I've been so busy with conventions and trying to, make some money off of my art. And that's actually where I got a lot of people asking me to make this piece, is because of the Doomslayer piece that I made before, and them wanting more, them wanting to see more of my work with this character. So I thought that was really cool. I'm very flattered about that, and I think it's awesome to see people wanting to see more of my work while in their fandom or fan base that they like, that I'm also a part of. This piece was very, very fun to work on. It took me about 11 hours to make. So that tells you anything about how fast my processes have improved since the last time that I worked on Doom in any form of artwork. Because the last one I think took me 13 to 20 hours. And yeah, I'm much faster now. I can see the little things that I need to add or not add, or don't have to focus on too many details, and it looks just so good at the end. You'll be very impressed, I think, with the end results. I do think that Doom and all that is such an integral part for the gaming industry. I mean, it obviously had some influence with Halo and other space marine-esque fighting games at some level, because these are power fantasies, and that's kind of what I kept or tried to keep in this piece, is that this is a power fantasy video game. It is not supposed to be this like super deep game. It's a power fantasy, and it's definitely seeing the little nitpicks and details that I've added kind of help with that, in my opinion. If you guys see that and see the differences that I've added, it might be cool for you to leave a comment of what you guys think of this piece. But other than that, this piece I'm very proud of. I'm very proud of where it's come and what's going on with it. This does make me want to take a break from metals and fully armored people, because I've done 3 now in a row with my Barbados, my Black War Greymon, and now this piece. And I'm just going to need to take a break from it. I need to do some soft characters, maybe some weapons, but mainly just taking a break from heavy armored characters for the time being. It's hard to think about, because you have to think about all the reflections and armor and how everything bounces from one area to another. So if you guys want me to talk about how I do armor, that would be great. I can do that later, but just let me know in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys again in the next video, because this one is definitely one of my favorites that I've done this year. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.